it off, bring your legs together, and then walk your heels apart, and then your toes apart. We're going to give our knees a little wiggle, our little shimmy, just to relax through the knee joints and keep your knees nice and soft and that you're not locking them out. We're going to work our way up through the body, looking at our posture. The next thing to look at is our pelvic area, your pelvis. So just check that both sides of your pelvis are level as you stand here, that you're not maybe dipping down like this, particularly after a while standing. Let's keep our pelvis nice and level. And if you find that your lower back is quite tight, you're quite arched, just really gently tuck your tailbone in or tuck your bum in slightly underneath. Working our way up a little bit more then, think about opening through the collarbones, through the front of the chest, and lengthen through your head and neck up towards the ceiling. So this is really important if you're doing a lot of office work at the moment, a lot of desk work maybe from home, hunched over all day. Let's open up through the chest. Imagine there's actually a little string at the top of your head, and it's really gently being pulled up to lengthen through the upper neck and spine. And then the last thing we want to do is work on our breathing. And this applies to any type of Pilates class that you do, but it's really important for our more gentle, mindful class today. So imagine, you can even use your hands, have a little feel around the chest here, have a little feel around the lower rib cage, just above the belly button. And imagine that you're wearing a really gentle or a really light belt around this area, or even a ribbon, and it's wrapped around this area. What I want you to do is take a really deep breath in through your nose, and imagine the chest opening out into that ribbon, and then exhale, breathe out through the mouth. Let's do this a couple of times. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Take it nice and slow. We'll go a couple more times. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Continue that. Keep going. And imagine that you're bringing that breath right up into the chest, right up into the rib cage. Not so much around your tummy, all the way up here into the ribs. Keeping the feet flat, keeping the collarbones open, the neck long and lengthened, working on that breath. And we're going to be using that same technique for our breathing the whole way through the session this morning. That's really been proven to help with the lower back pain and stiffness if you can breathe really deeply here into the backs and sides of your ribs. Then what we're going to do, let's start to lean forward onto the balls of our feet, just shifting your weight to the front of the toes and balls of the feet. And as you exhale, let's shift the weight back onto our heels. Imagine you're a really tall pillar and lean forward, bringing your whole body forward onto the toes. And let's come all the way backwards onto the heels. We're coming forward and then all the way backwards again. I'll just show you from the side. We're just gently leaning to the front, pause, and come all the way back. Try not to bend over as such. Just move your whole body, shifting your center of gravity forward and then back. Let's do one more. Forward and back. And can you settle somewhere in the middle of those two movements? So now your weight, your center of gravity has been found, and the weight is even between the front and back of the feet. Let's get moving then a little bit more. We're going to turn our palms up to face the ceiling. Take a breath in through the nose, and as you breathe out through the mouth, open the arms to the side and inhale to come right back in. Let's do that again. Exhale to open and inhale to close. Continue. Exhale to open and inhale to close. I'm just going to let somebody else in. Exhale to open and inhale to close. Keeping those collarbones open wide. Exhale. Inhale. Warming up through the upper body, across the shoulders, through the mid-back. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Hopefully everyone can see my screen and see it sort of in your speaker view. If anyone does have their camera on, if you don't mind just turning it off so that everyone could just see my screen, that would be really great. Thank you so much. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale to open. And inhale to close. 1 more. Exhale to open. And we're going to reach up, lengthening through the arms, reaching through the tips of the fingers. Come all the way back down again. Use your breath here. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Keep that lovely rib cage and chest breathing going as we do the movement. We've got our center of gravity. Our weight is even between the front and backs of the soles of our feet. And we're keeping the rest of our body lovely and still. Exhale. Inhale. Imagine the air is really heavy. Imagine the air is like water, and you're pushing the arms up through that resistance of the air and the water. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. 1 more. Exhale as we lift. We're going to stay here. Let's keep the wrists straight. And as you exhale, turn your palms to face down and even go a little bit further. Getting that lovely stretch. We'll open back to the ceiling and come back to the start. Let's go again. Exhale as we lift. Hold it. Exhale as you turn the arms around. Exhale as you come back again. And inhale to release. Well done. Lift it up. Hold it. Exhale to turn around. Exhale to come back. And releases. This is a nice sort of nervy type stretch. So you might feel that kind of down the forearm, around the wrist, maybe around the elbows. And it's really nice to do if you have any neck issue, if you've got any sort of pinched or trapped nerve around the neck, any disc problems in the neck which affect you down your arm with all those nerves. So we're trying to mobilize and make everything move a little bit better. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale as you lift. Exhale as you rotate back to center and release. 1 more. Use that breath. Exhale again. Exhale again. And inhale. Let's come up to the sides. Exhale, lift. This time turn your palms to face the front. Keep your feet planted on your mat. Take a breath in to prepare. And on your breath out, let's rotate the upper body to the left. Getting that nice spine twist. Breath in to hold. And on your breath out, return to center. So in our mindful class this morning, we're using that breath to guide our movement. Let's exhale as we move to the opposite side. Inhale to hold. And exhale to come back to center. Just warming up that mid-back, which we'll do more when we get on the floor in a moment. Let's pop our hands onto our hips. Keep your hips level. Can you raise your left heel off the floor, keeping the balls of the feet down? And then exhale, swap. Lift the right heel as you drop the left. Let's swap again. And swap. We'll make this faster in a moment. Let's take our time. Get your balance, get your coordination. So we're swapping each heel. 1 lifts, 1 lowers. It's like you're walking on the spot. We want to get the blood flowing through the lower half of the body and get us fully warmed up then to move a little bit more on the mat. Well done, guys. Keep your hips level as you swap legs from side to side. So we don't really want to see any dropping maybe of the hips or swaying of the hips from side to side. Let's try and keep our hips level as we move. Well done. We're continuing to open the collarbones, lengthen through the head and neck. Imagine that string is still pulling you up from the crown of your head to really lengthen you through the whole body, through the spine in particular. Let's go a little faster. We're going to add in our breathing. Exhale. Exhale. So you're exhaling here the whole time out through the mouth. Let's go a little bit faster. Swap, 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 swap. Keep going. Really nice warm up for the foot and ankle too. So if you're a runner, if you like to run, really nice thing to do, a little sequence like this, just to warm up through the foot and ankle, through the calf muscles, the Achilles, and the muscles down around the toes. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you lift both heels at the same time? We're really challenging our balance here. Let's go into a little movement called the foot series. We're going to bring our hands in front. Keep your balance. Let's bend both knees. Take your time. If you need to stop, stop. Bend both knees. Still on the balls of your feet. Drop your heels into the ground and release. I'm going to do this one from the side just so you can see it a little bit better. You can stay where you are. So we're going to again lift our heels and lift our hands in front at the same time. It's quite wobbly, take care. Let's bend our knees. Take your time, pick a spot on the wall, focus on it. Control the movement. When you're down to the end of your movement, drop your heels and release. Let's go for one more. Really great challenge for our balance here. Let's bend the knees. Down we go. Pause, drop the heels and release. Fantastic, guys. Let's take our legs wide apart now. So wider than hip width apart. Turn your toes out away from the midline. Hold on to the hips again. And we're going to bend both knees, bend both hips into this wide base squat and release. We're going to inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. So thinking back to that ribbon or that imaginary belt around your chest and breathe into it. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Well done, guys. Getting as low as you feel comfortable too. So if you have any hip or knee pain, don't go down too low. Just a little bend will do. And if you are getting right down, great stuff. Just make sure you're not going too deep for if you've got any injuries or anything. Try and keep your chest up tall here. So we're not bending over with this squat, we're staying up tall. We're allowing our knees and hips to do the work here. Well done. Really opening up here through the hips and thighs. So really great if you sit a lot in the current climate, if you're doing a lot of work from home, or sitting down all day, get those hips moving. Let's go for 4. Inhale and exhale. 3. Inhale and exhale. Last 2. Inhale and exhale. Last 1. Let's stop about halfway. So you're halfway down. Imagine your upper body is in between 2 panes of glass. So we don't want to lean over. Stay up tall, open the chest. We're going to straighten the right knee and lean over to the left. Getting that stretch through the inner thighs and hips. Let's come back to center. We're going to use our breath this time as we go in the opposite direction. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Stay up tall. And again, exhale. And inhale. Let's do one more on either side. Reach into the left. This time stay here. And exhale, reach the arm up and overhead. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, come back to center. Let's go to the other side. Reach and stretch. Big breath in. And on your breath out, release. Let's come back to the top. Well done, guys. I see my battery's a little bit low, so I'm just going to plug in my charger. And what I want you to do is come to the end of your mat with your feet hip distance apart and start rolling your shoulders up and back and down. And I'm just going to throw this in before we lose you. So standing at the end of your mat, rolling those shoulders up and back and down, up and back and down. Let's go for 2 more. So up and back and down, and 1 more, up and back and down. Let's bring the chin towards the chest, just to stretch through the back of the neck, and hold it here. Still thinking, or coming back to thinking, if you sort of forgot about the breath, let's come back to it now. Through the rib cage, through the chest. Inhale. And on your next exhale, we're going to round forward with the shoulders and upper body. Let your arms hang here. And let the head and neck relax too. And start to feel that stretch through the upper back and shoulders. We're going to continue on down towards the floor. If you're really, really stiff, if you've got a little bit of pain, bend both knees. And if everybody wants to soften the knees just a little bit anyway, just to feel a bit more comfortable here, let your head just hang. And in this position, think about that breath. So right now I'm breathing really deeply into this part of my chest, breathing in through the nose, and let it out through the mouth. Sink a little further. Let's go for 1 more. Breath in, and on the breath out, sink a little bit more. If you have any pain, come down onto your mat a little bit sooner and rest. If you don't, let's stay here. Can you allow your left heel to come up off the mat, if you can see mine? Use your hands maybe on the mat for balance if you need it. And then let's swap and lift the right one, lower the left. And swap. So we're back to our walking type movement, but now we've made it a little more challenging in this position. Exhale as you swap. Exhale as you swap. Exhale as you swap. And this is a super way to stretch the muscles through the backs of the legs, from the bum to the heels, and also through the lower back. Let's do one more. We're going to drop both heels down. And with another breath out, let's bend our knees and we're going to ease ourselves down onto the mat. So let's come onto all fours here on your mat. Just being careful if you do have any wrist or elbow or shoulder injury at the moment. If you'd prefer not to do this, you could just take a seat back on your heels, take a little break and continue to focus on that lovely deep breathing. If not, let's stay here on all fours. Let's start to work through the spine then. Can you allow your lower back to arch a little bit? Follow me. Then continue through the mid-back. Lift the neck, lift the head, look in front. Let's inhale through the nose. And on your exhale through the mouth, we'll go in the opposite direction. You can scoop up through the abdominal muscles here. Draw that belly button up to the ceiling as we come around in this position. Breath in again. Into the rib cage and breath out. Let's move in the opposite direction. Have a little look in front. Take your breath in again. And on your breath out, tuck the bum in and under, round the lower back, the mid back. And let your head drop. Inhale. And exhale. Have a look in front. Let's go for one more in either direction. Exhale as we tuck that tailbone in and under, rounding the spine, let the head drop. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, around we go. Sink a little bit further this time. And then we're going to come back up into this rounded spinal position, tucking that tailbone in and under. And as you exhale, keep this sort of rounded arch of your spine and then sit back on your heels. Sit right back on those heels if you can. Tuck the tailbone in and under. So we're really opening this space through the lower back, opening the vertebrae to help with any stiffness, and also stretching these muscles here along the spine. We'll sink right down if you can. Breath in. Breath out to sink further. Get your forearms down if you like onto the ground. Let's inhale again. And this time on the exhale, we'll come right back up again. Let's give the back a little shake out, the pelvis a little shake out, and we'll do it again. So let's start by tucking that tailbone in and under, round the spine, and exhale to sit right back on your heels. Sit right back, really deep breathing. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth to sink right down. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Get down lower if you can, getting the forearms down, even getting the head and neck quite low towards the mat. Let's take one more breath in. And on your breath out, let's come back up. Give the spine and the pelvis a little breather for a moment. This is really, really good to help with stiffness through the lower back. Let's go one last time. Tuck that tailbone in and under, and off we go. Sit right back on the heels. Well done. Nice deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Sink right down. One last time. Big breath in. And on your breath out, we'll come back to 4-point kneeling. So let's come to this position again. Just checking that your legs are hip distance apart, your knees are under your hips, and your hands are just slightly in front of your shoulders. This time let's concentrate a bit more on the middle of our spines, our thoracic spines. We're going to take our right hand, and can you exhale, rotate upwards, lifting that right hand up to the ceiling. Have a look at it. Take a breath in, and on your breath out, just come back to the mat again. We'll keep our lower body quite still. Let's go with the left. Exhale as we reach up into the air. Have a look, breath in, and breath out, right back down. Let's go again, 2 more. Exhale as we lift. Inhale to hold, and exhale to lower again. Getting that lovely shoulder and mid-back stretch. Reach. Nice big breath in, and breath out. We're going to go again and increase that range of motion a little bit. Let's go to the right. Reach. Take a big breath in, and on your breath out, bring this right arm behind your left arm. Allow your left arm to bend a little bit, like you're threading a needle through. Let's go up in the air. Exhale as we lift. And lower back down. Well done. We're going to thread the needle on the left side then. We'll start by exhaling out through the mouth. Don't forget your ribbon around your ribs. Breathe into it. Breath in. And on the breath out, thread that needle through. Get that nice mid-back, upper back stretch. Last time, lift it into the air. And release. Well done. Let's take our knees really wide apart and keep our 2 big toes together. And sit back on your heels now if you can. We'll get our elbows down onto the floor, and we can cross our hands over in front, making a little pillow for our forehead. And rest your head on your hands. Let's just take a little rest here from all the movement, just for a couple of seconds to reconnect with our breathing and take a little break. So let the head sink onto the hands. The knees are really wide apart, so we're getting that lovely stretch through our hips, through the bum muscles, through the lower back. And really breathe nice and deeply, nice and slowly, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Well done, guys. If for whatever reason you cannot sit back like this, maybe your knee is just not moving that much for you to sit back, this is where you can take your towel that we mentioned earlier to have handy if you have it. If not, grab a cushion off the couch or whatever you might have at home, and what you could do is not sit back as far, cross the arms over the pillow or the towel, and just sit like this instead. You'll still get a similar stretch, just it won't be as painful or as tight around the knees. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go, one last deep breath. Let it out. Well done. We're going to change our position then. We're coming back to that towel when we lie on our backs for the very end of the session. But let's come into a sitting position now if you can. So we're going to sit on our mat. Pop your bottom onto the middle of the mat. We'll use the 2 bony points of the bum, the sit bones, as our guide. So we want to keep our sit bones on the mat. If you're really restricted through your spine, hips or knees, you can even do this part of the session on a chair if you like, if sitting down like this is too intense for you. Or alternatively, put your cushion or your towel under your bottom, and that will raise you up a little bit taller to get you more comfortable. You can sit like this with the legs apart, or the full part of the exercise is where we bend our knees and sit cross-legged. So it's completely up to yourself. Sit cross-legged if you can manage it. If not, pop a little cushion under your bum and keep your feet out. Let's just take a moment here. Take our hands to the sides. We're going to open our collarbones, lengthen through the head and neck again, and work on that rib cage breath. Let's take a really deep breath in and let it out. Sitting really tall as we take that lovely breath. Inhale and exhale. One more time, big breath in and let it out. Keep your left hand on the mat or on the chair if you're sitting. Reach your right hand up into the air. And as you exhale now, let's lean across to this left side. Again, keep keeping your bottom, your sit bones on the floor or on the chair. Take a really deep breath in. And on your breath out, come back up. Let's do it to the opposite side. Reach the left hand. Exhale, stretch across, keeping the bum where it is. We don't want this leg to come up. We want it to stay down. Lift back up. Let's go again. Exhale as we stretch. Inhale as we hold. And exhale to come back up. Reach again. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to hold. And exhale to stretch again. If that's enough for you, if that's challenging enough, stay like that and just hold your stretch. If you want to increase it a little bit, let's put our right hand behind our head. Staying in this position then, we're going to rotate the elbow, the upper body down towards the floor, down towards your hand that's on the mat or the chair. And as you exhale, let's go all the way up in the opposite direction, opening the chest, bringing the breastbone up towards the ceiling. Let's go again. Exhale to rotate. Hold it. And exhale to lift back up and open again. So lots of lovely mobility here for the muscles around the shoulder blades, around the shoulders, and mobility of the spine itself. One more. Exhale to lift. Let's come back to the starting point. Reach overhead again. Take a really deep breath in. And reach a little bit further. You should get a little bit further now. Up we come and drop. Let's just shake out those shoulders for a minute, and we'll do that on the other side. Remember, if this is too challenging, change your leg position, change where you're sitting. Let's then reach the left hand into the air and exhale and stretch. If you want to continue at this level, then just continue like this. If not, place the left hand at the back of the head and rotate down towards the floor. Have a look down. As you exhale, let's rotate all the way back up to the ceiling, keeping the hips where they are. Exhale to repeat. All the way down, hold it. And exhale to lift. Let's go for one more. Exhale to rotate all the way downwards. And exhale, lift. Lifting the breastbone, lifting the chest towards the ceiling, and that lovely stretch. Let's come back to the start. Reach up and overhead. Inhale. And on your exhale, can you get a little bit further? Lengthening through the spine, the waist, the hips, the shoulders. And release. Well done. Let's stay here for a moment. Sit nice and tall. Well done. Lift the shoulders up, back, and down. I'm going to bring our left ear towards our left shoulder, just to get a nice stretch through the neck muscles here, through the tops of the shoulders. Bringing our focus again all the way back to ourselves and to that nice breathing technique through the chest. Let's come back to center. We're going to go to the opposite side. We're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. If you find your mind is wandering, if you find it's very noisy where you are, maybe you're in a house full of screaming kids, try and block it all out and just focus on that breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take this time out for you and block everything else out. Let's come back up, shake it all out. And we're going to go into our final position then for today's session, which is going to be lying on our backs. You do need the towel for this part. If you don't have one, don't worry. If it was too short notice to grab one, don't worry. You can do some of the stretches without it. But we'll just add it in for a little sequence to help with any lower back pain or sciatica. We're going to lie on our backs. So again, if you have any neck pain, what you could also do here is throw a cushion underneath the head. Or if you come to Pilates with me normally and you normally use some neck support, take a cushion off the couch or something, and we'll go with that. So let's lie on our backs. We're going to bend both knees up, both feet are flat on the mat. And let's just take a moment here to refocus. If you want, place your hands on that lower part of the chest, the lower part of the ribs, just above the belly button. And now you can feel what's actually happening with that deep breath. It's quite nice to have a little bit of tactile feedback, a little bit of Just checking what's happening there. Let's take our breath in through the nose. Feel the ribcage opening out, and exhale through the mouth. You can almost use your hands to help push that air out as the ribs come back down. Let's do it again. Breath in and breath out. Pushing that air out. If you like, close your eyes here and continue that. I think someone got locked out, so I'm just going to let them join back in. So focus on that nice breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Using the hands to guide that air out through the rib cage. Let's do one more. Deep breath in and exhale. Well done. Let's keep that breathing going. Take your hands down to around your pelvic bone. And we're going to exhale as we allow our pelvic bones at the front to move forwards and downwards, creating a little arch underneath your lower back. Let's go in the opposite direction. Exhale. Flatten the lower back all the way into the mat. Let's do it again. We're going to exhale as the pelvis moves forwards, creating that little arch under the lower back. And exhale as we come all the way backwards. Flatten it right down into the floor. Let's do one more in either direction. Exhale, forwards. Just our pelvic tilt, our lower spinal movement here. One more all the way back into the mat. Flatten that lower back all the way into the mat. Then let's stop about halfway between those 2 points, which is neutral. We'll stay there. And this is where we're going to add in our towel sequence then. So if you have the towel, don't worry if you don't. I'll show you what to do if you don't. Let's open it out. So I've got a bath towel here. I'm going to open it out and sort of make it make it into like a long rope type towel. Hold either end with either hand. We're going to bend the right knee and let's put the toes of the right foot into the towel. So you can just keep your heel free and just have the toes on it. You're going to hold both ends. Keep the left knee still. Keep your arms as your anchor. And as you exhale, let's lengthen that right leg out. And inhale, pull it back in. You can do it without the towel if you like. Exhale, push out. Inhale, pull back in. Just watch that your left knee is not moving. Your pelvis is nice and still. And we're exhaling that air out. Think about your rib breathing again. And inhale back in. Exhale out. Inhale in. And this sequence is to help with any stiffness, tightness and pain from maybe sciatica or lower back pain. And just also to help with tightness through the hips and the backs of the legs. Let's do one more. It's a nice nervy type stretch. Let's keep that leg up now. If you can, get it straight. And draw just the teensiest, tiniest little bit higher until you can feel a really gentle stretch here through the hamstrings. If you're at this point, it's shaking, it's bending, then you need to go a little bit lower. So hold it there. Well done. Let's take our deep breath in and let it out. One more big breath in and let it out. Well done. Let's stay here and we're going to use our ankle now to do an increased stretch for that sciatic nerve in the backs of the legs. So now can you draw your toes downwards towards your hip and then exhale and point the toes upwards. Let's come all the way downwards with the toes. I'll show you this without the towel so you can see. And point the toes upwards. I'll just show you without the towel for a moment. I'm doing this, pointing my toes and then pulling them down in this direction. We'll keep it moving, we won't hold it. It's a nice dynamic exercise for the sciatic nerve and for the muscles through the legs. Let's go one more time. Down and up. And then stop, just give the toes a little wiggle. We're going to go with one last towel stretch on this side. This time, put the two ends of the towel into your right hand. So both ends into the right hand. You can put your left hand onto your opposite hip bone. And then we're going to allow this leg and the left knee to open out to the side. So you're getting a nice hip and thigh stretch here, and come all the way back to center. Keep your pelvis nice and still. Let's go again. Exhale to open the knees apart. Inhale to return. And again, with any of these, if you're finding you've got pain, if you've got a pre-existing injury and this is driving it crazy, then do stop. But hopefully it's so gentle, it should be fine. Let's go again. Exhale to open. Inhale to close. Just make sure you're all muted. If you left and came back, just make sure you are muted. Let's do one more. Exhale and inhale. Well done. Bend the knee in. Let's leave the towel down for a moment and hold both knees into your chest for a stretch. Give your toes a little wiggle. Refocus on that breath. Well done. Drop back down. We'll take it back up. Let's do that whole sequence now on the left side. So it's kind of our last stretching sequence, and then we're going to spend a couple of minutes doing a complete relaxation and wind down. So let's go on to the left side. So just have your toes, keep your heel free, or the ball of your foot. Keep your heel free, hold either end. Keep the right foot planted, the right knee planted. Let's inhale to prepare. And on our exhale, lengthen. Let's inhale to come in. And exhale to lengthen. Sometimes we do stretches and we're told to hold them for 30 seconds, hold them for a minute, and that's absolutely fine once you're warmed up well and the muscles are warm. But sometimes this way of stretching, a dynamic stretch, can be just as effective. And particularly for any neural tension, so any trapped nerves or pain from a trapped nerve, the dynamic stretches are much better. Let's stretch and release. Exhale, letting the ribs relax. Inhale, letting them expand. Two more. Exhale and inhale. One more, and we'll move into our nervy movement. Let's hold the legs straight and see, can you just gradually guide it the tiniest little bit higher, just for a mild to moderate stretch here. You don't want to feel a severe stretch or pain. Just a mild to moderate stretch here. That's all. Maybe the back of the ankle, back of the knee, the lower back, but no pain. Let's hold it. Bring your breathing back into focus. And then we'll go with our nerve stretch. So point the toes up first, flexing the ankle. And then exhale, pull the toes down, getting that really nice calf and hamstring stretch. Let's point forward and down. Just being careful if you do have any wrist injury, obviously don't grip the towel too hard. And if you want to do them all without the towel, you're just guiding your holding and supporting your leg while the foot does the movement. So you can go without the towel here if you like. Let's do one more. We'll come down and up. And then pause, just give the foot a little wiggle, give the toes a little wiggle. Let's go to our last stretch here. Again, using the towel is easiest. If you don't have one, you can still do it. Let's put both ends of the towel into your left hand. Let's put your right hand onto your pelvis. And exhale, allow the two knees to open apart. Let's come all the way back to center. We're going to go again. Exhale it out. And inhale back in. Last two. Exhale it out. Inhale back in. Last one. And in. Well done. Let's take the towel away. And we're going to hold both knees into the chest. Let the lower back now melt into your mat. Let's hug the knees in, and you can gently rock from side to side. So for the last couple of minutes, I'm going to do 1 or 2 more stretches and then completely wind down, working on a little bit of a body scan to help us totally relax this morning before you face the day ahead. Let's drop one foot, drop the other foot. So our last stretch, let's bring our feet and knees together. Then take the legs together over to the right, rotating to the right side of your mat. And then if you like, bring the legs a little bit higher, particularly if you've done Pilates before and you've no back pain. Bring those legs a little higher. Use your right hand to hold them there. And we can take our left hand then out to the side. Keep your head and neck in the center. Let's just close our eyes here for a couple of moments and enjoy this stretch. You're feeling that stretch maybe through the front of the chest, particularly over at that left arm. Maybe you're feeling it through the waist, through the ribs. Maybe you're feeling it through the lower back, or maybe even through the left hip. Let's think about our rib cage expanding and contracting as you inhale and exhale. Thinking about that ribbon that we've been talking about since the very start. Let's do one more big breath here. And as you exhale, just open your eyes for a moment. We're going to slide the legs back down, back to center. Just get yourself into a nice line again through the upper body. Keep the feet and knees together. I'm going to let them rotate across to the left this time. If you want to, bring them higher. Use your left hand to hold them. And we're going to lengthen our right arm out by our side. Turn your palm up to the ceiling here. And again, let's just take a few moments to feel the stretch, to enjoy the stretch, to focus in on our breathing again. Breathing in through the nose and letting it out through the mouth. Let's do one more. Breath in. Well done. We'll bring our legs back to center now. Take our legs apart. And we're going to straighten the right leg out along the mat. Let's straighten the left leg out along the mat. Give our toes a little wiggle and allow your feet, your hips, your legs just to relax out to the side. So you can let go of the legs, let them just rotate outwards. I'm going to rest our hands in the same way by our side. Let the arms, the hands just relax. And your head and neck just sink into your mat. Make sure that you're comfortable here. Do you have enough support under your head? Is your back very arched in this position? If it is, just bend the knees back up again if that's not so comfortable. You decide. And if you want to, you could always cover yourself here in a blanket or use the towel if it's not so warm where you are. And let's just relax then. Can you close your eyes? Continue to think about that breath. We'll refocus on that breathing technique again. We're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Just like you feel the ribcage relax on the breath out, just like you feel the air leaving on that breath out, let's alleviate or release any tension that you're feeling on that breath out as well. For the next couple of seconds, can you focus on the area across your forehead, around your eyebrows, across your eye line? Just see, are you holding any tension there? Are you frowning without even realizing? Are you scrunching up through the forehead and the eyebrows, not even knowing? Focus on that area. Continue your breathing technique. on your next breath out, make it a longer breath out through the mouth and release any tension in that upper forehead and eye area. Let it all go. Sometimes we can clench through the jaw, clench our teeth without knowing it. Usually maybe when we're in bed at night and there's 101 things going through your mind, we might be doing that. So on your next exhale, let go of the muscles or any tension around the jaw, around the lips, around the neck. You're letting your head just become a little bit heavier, sinking into the mat, into the cushion, letting your head just go completely. Continue that lovely deep breathing. Let's work our way down a little from the head and neck towards the tops of the shoulders. It is such a common place for us to hold stress and tension. And just try and let the shoulders release, let them come away from your ears. Let the tops of the shoulders just sink further into the floor. Feeling that contact increasing between your body and the floor, the ground beneath you. And really sink with each breath out. Release that tension with the breath out. Continue that from the shoulders to the elbows to the hands. Letting the arms just rest completely still by your side. Work your way down a little bit lower. Think about the next point of contact. Maybe it's your lower back, maybe it's your bottom. And with the next exhale, just let that area sink even deeper into the mat. If you find that your mind is starting to wander, maybe there's lots of noise outside or around your house, just always come back to thinking about that breath. Listening to my voice, or if you find that you're still sort of wandering, the mind is still wandering, just even listen to you, listen to your breath. And maybe even count the breath. Count for maybe 1, 2 on your breath in. And maybe count to 1, 2, 3, and even 4 on the breath out. So definitely focus a little more, refocus again. If you find you're thinking about other things, maybe outside of this class or outside of your house right now, things you need to do today, let's forget it all for the next couple of minutes. Just think about this present moment, your body releasing any tension it's feeling, and also your mind. Use that really deep ribcage breath. Use the exhale in particular to let go. Let's think about letting go from the hips to the knees to the toes now. Continuing to keep our eyes closed but soft. You can even start to make the breathing a little less deep. And just relax into your normal breathing pattern. While continuing to let your body just sink into the mat. We'll just be grateful this morning for all the fabulous weather we've been having. Grateful to be able to take this time out for ourselves. And being grateful for keeping us all safe and well at this time. Let's take a really deep breath in. Hold it for a couple of seconds on that breath in, really feeling the chest expand. And let it all out. Let's open our eyes. And just for a moment, let your eyes adjust to the light again. Let's give our fingers and our toes a little wiggle just to start bringing some gentle movement back into the body. Just letting your eyes adjust to that light again. We'll give the legs a little wiggle side to side and the ankles. Again, just bringing that movement back into our muscles, into our joints. Let's take both hands. I'm going to reach up and overhead now. And just think about reaching from the tips of your fingers down to your toes, lengthening through the entire body. We'll take one last deep breath in. And on your breath out, bring the hands down. We're going to bend our knees. Let's turn to one side. Maybe use your free hand to bring you up here. We're going to turn onto our hands and knees, just making sure you're not dizzy or lightheaded after lying down with your eyes closed. We're going to tuck our toes in underneath us at the back. Take your hands a little bit wider apart than shoulder width. Just being careful with your wrist here if you have any injuries there, or shoulder or elbows. What you could do is just come all the way up to standing nice and gradually. If not, then let's start to lift our knees. Let's lift our hips, straighten our knees. Let the bum and hips just point up to the ceiling. Let the head and neck relax. Keeping both knees straight, getting one final stretch through the backs of the legs, through the lower back. We'll inhale again. And on your exhale, we're going to start to walk back with our hands, bend your knees. And we're getting ready for our roll up. So if you couldn't do that upside down sort of stretch, even just come to this point now and we'll all roll up together. We'll take a deep breath. And on your exhale, let's just start to come up a little bit. You can keep your knees bent here. And let's think about the lower back. Can you tuck your tailbone in and under? And then straighten the knees a little more. Let's restack the lower back, the mid back, the neck, the shoulders. We're lifting the head, reaching overhead, taking a really deep breath in. And on your breath out, let it go. Well done, everybody. Thanks a million for joining us today.